Hello everyone, so in this video we will be talking about the DJI Avata 2. Actually, I made an unboxing video last night, but I'm not happy with how it turned out. So, yeah, let's just start this video again. And as you can see, I don't have the box with me because I already opened it up. And the DJI Avata 2 is all in this bag from DJI. So everything here, this is the Fly More combo kit already. So this is really portable and you could bring it anywhere. So let's go. Let's dive into this video. And let's start with the Avata 2. Of course, I just probably incorporate that unboxing in this video as well, because that is because I'm really sleepy last night, but I'm excited to open it up and show it to you. Okay, so this is the DJI Avata 2. See, it's all here inside. So this is the DJI Avata 2, and as you can see, it's really compact compared with the Avata 1. And one thing I noticed is the weight difference. Probably is not that significant, but I'm feeling that this is lighter than that one. But probably on a separate video, let's try to see side by side comparison between the Avata 1 and this Avata 2. Okay, so as you can see here, it is now the propeller is already inverted. So this the typical drones configuration for their propellers. So it's a puller type. Also, you have a 3-bladed props, so the sound profile will be very different from the Avata 1, which has a 5-bladed props. Also, the top part is much smaller compared to the Avata 1, and I think the ESC and some of the flight controller is probably on the bottom of the quad, because actually, as you can see, it is quite bigger than the Avata 1, because with the Avata 1 there's nothing at the bottom of the quad, everything is on the top since it's a pusher type drone. But this time they tried to, as I said in my previous video, they tried to balance the weight and the distribution of weight for this quad. Okay, so now the camera is moved to the front, and it's way of course the propeller guard is not in view of the cam, and at the back there is a pull tab for the battery, and this time it's really thin. And as I saw it in my unboxing video, the Avata 1 has a bigger battery than the Avata 2, because this time they just use a 2,150 milliampere. With the Avata 1, they use 2,450 milliampere. So this is much smaller. And if we look inside, there is nothing in this cavity of this Avata 2. Okay, so there's nothing there. Only the top part for the gimbal, and I think something, probably, yeah. Actually, there's nothing there. So everything now is at the bottom of this quad. So probably the ESC and the flight controller is really here in this part of the Avata 2. And they made it smaller, the camera protector. It's much smaller compared with the Avata 1. Right? So let's try to put this in. Now you have a sensor at the back. Actually, it's just a 45-degree angle, so probably to give you a better measurement for the altitude, instead of just everything on the bottom. Okay, still there is I believe this is an infrared sensor, so you could still measure your altitude, your height. Okay, so basically that's it for the Avata 2. Next would be, of course, the goggles 3, and I have said it as before, I really don't like the design of the goggles 3, and I still don't like it up to now. I'm having difficulty configuring the IPD adjustment. It's way different than the Avata, the goggles 2, but it is what it is. I have to be careful with this one. So as I see it, you cannot change your strap, and the battery is a bit heavy, but you will put it in this manner. So this part of the goggles will hold the goggles. Then you put it here in this way. So the pressure point would be at your forehead, and this would freely move. Now that there's a problem with this configuration. Of course, this would be beneficial for those who have a very, very thin face. In my case, it's quite difficult to adjust the IPD, and I'm having difficulty to set the proper. It's difficult for me to do the proper IPD adjustment for my eyes, unlike with the goggles too. And every time I place this on my forehead, the IPD adjustment changes because, of course, this time I need to place it in the proper way on my forehead. Instead of before, I just need to place the goggles to right beneath my nose bridge. So every time I use it, every time I use the goggles too, the IPD adjustment is as good as it is as I use it before. But this time, every time I have to place the goggles 3, I really have to make sure that the IPD adjustment is correct. The goggles is right where it should be on my forehead. Of course, I have a very, very large forehead. I don't know where I should put it back every time I remove it from my head. So that is one of the problem that I noticed with the goggles 3. But the cam, the pass-through camera is a really welcome addition. I used to use I think it's a Sky Zone that has a pass-through. It's not that good, but this time, this is good. But the field of view is quite tight. I think it's equivalent to a 35 millimeter or more than that. So although I can see something at my front, it needs to be a bit far from me. So it's a welcome addition if you want to see if there's someone in front of you, and you just need to double tap your goggles 3 and you will see everything in your front. Okay, but of course I was hoping that it could be a little wider, but yeah, it is what it is. And now it doesn't have a touchpad on the right side. This time you have a 5-way joystick and a back button. So some people do want that. I still prefer the touchpad, but of course this is the goggles 3 already, so we can't do anything about it. Probably DJI would create a new one, a better version of this, similar to the goggles 2. Okay, what else did I forgot about the goggles 3? Oh, now the foam is quite soft. It's really, really soft. It's not the typical goggles foam, so you have to adjust, or you have to be used to it if you really want to use the goggles 3 at the moment, because it's the only thing that would work with the Avata 2. Of course, we also got this Flymer combo kit. You have this extra 2 batteries and a charging hub. I really like this setup, similar to the Mavic series, and you just need to bring this over and you can fly anywhere. Okay, and lastly, of course, the motion controller 3. This is quite nice. It's much smaller compared with the motion controller 2, and as you can see here, they tried to dial it down, make it easier for you to fly the quad even if you don't have the FPV controller 3. You got your manual and the return to home button here. You have your brake button here and the joystick, and there is an additional rolling switch here. Is it a rolling switch? I forgot how to call this. This would give you the freedom to do some acrobatic movement with your quad without having without being in manual mode. So you could flip, you could do rolls, of course, and you could also do some, I think, 2 more acrobatic moves by using this motion controller 3. It has a much smaller profile compared to the motion controller 2 and motion controller 1. Also, you have a record button at the sides and a power button at the right. Still, you have your trigger button here for forward and back. Now, this time you could actually use this to do adjustments directly to your goggles 3. So this is really also, that is a good way to control your goggles 3. So even though they remove the touchpad at the right side of your goggles 3, they integrate the motion controller key with the goggles 3. Okay, so far so good. I really like the way to do this flights. I just need to bring this with me. I don't need to bring anything else. And now I could actually fly this quad. Now let's try to see some footage using the DJI Avata 2. Let's go. Okay, so one thing I forgot to tell is that this time the lens, as you can see here, the lens of the DJI Avata 2 is a bit, as you can see, it's not well protected by this bumper. See, it's not, it's a bit you could see the camera here from this angle. It's not that well protected, so I'm not sure if DJI would do something, or we could probably 3D print a longer protector so that the whole sensor of the Avata 2 will be protected, because we will be using this probably to do some acrobatics, so some acro mode. So I'm just not that confident that this will not break when we use it. Okay, another thing, there is no wires. That is one cool thing about this goggles 3, because of course it has a similar design with the Integra. Also, there's a GPS here, so if you are from the US, or from a country that restricts your flights, I think the GPS would help you to, of course, to fly with so your GPS from the goggles is transmitted, I think, to the craft directly, and in the event of a problem and someone sees your quad, uh, they will know your current location. Okay. And another thing, this has now a defogging option. So unlike the goggles 2, this can you could actually remove the fogginess of your lens by turning on a lot of the fans inside. So the bottom part of the Avata is touching the floor. Okay. Wow. Did you see that? The sound profile is really different. I try to put the microphone near it so you could. That is way different than the Avata 1. Okay, so one thing I noticed right off the bat is the sound is similar to the Mavic Minis. And it's really not that high pitched. So that is good, which is why sometimes I have difficulty flying it in very dense area, because it really catches too much attention. This one, the sound is manageable, and that is good. Okay, so let's try to fly this. Just a very short flight. Okay, it's hovering. Okay. I'm not sure why, but it's it's way different. Let's try to land it down. I forgot. I think I changed the settings for this. Let's go. Let's land it first. not sure. Yeah, okay, so I'm recording it now. I already take off. So one thing I notice is the quality of the video. It's really, really good compared with the Avata one. I think DJI used the sensor of the Action 4. Okay, so you could hear it now. Let's try to get back here. I'm not really used to the motion controller. I'm used to the sticks of the FPV controller. But this time the quality is really good. Okay. Okay. So see if we could fly. Can we go farther than this? Let's see. Okay. Nice. Okay, the quality is really good. Okay. See if we could go back. Okay. So we are not that far. 3 minutes on the video. We are recording directly to to the quad. And yes, the sound is really, really low pitched. Okay, I'm not trying to fly really, really fast. I am not. This is my maiden flight, so I don't want to. Okay, you don't want to mess this. Okay, the battery is a bit low for the goggles. Okay, 9%. Let's try uh, to go back. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, that is one one quick maiden flight. Okay. Okay, so one thing that I noticed is the quality of the video is really, really good compared with the Avata 1. And also, so the sound pro, that is my niece there, trying to wave back. Okay, so the quality of the sound is much more pleasant than the Avata 1. And even though we are trying to fly on a gusty wind, the sound didn't change that much. So that is a plus point. If they could have made this around 3.5 inch, probably we could probably use a bi-bladed props. But of course, it has already a good flight dynamics. So we will try to fly this when I have the FPV controller too, because I'm not really used to using the motion controller. So one thing that you would notice is if you use this while flying, if you use this stick, the quad changes its movement, and you could not use the gyro. So when I'm flying, I I I I I set my expectation that I will not use this while flying. But if I have to land down, I will be using this to land down. If you want to hover, you also use the joystick. But for any movements, try not to use it, because when I try to push the joystick, the movement of the Avata abruptly changed and I'm not able to fly correctly. Okay, so I'm still not used to it. I haven't used the motion controller too as well. I just use it I think for a couple of times, then yeah, I went directly with FPV controller 2. So now that is one thing that I'm still trying to find a place where I could buy the FPV controller 3, because it's still out of stock everywhere here. Probably there are no someone hoard all of the FPV controller 3. So for now, that is the first flight and the sample video of the DJI Avata 2, and of course some footage directly from the goggles 3. And so far so good. Okay, so I'm still trying to be used to this setup on the goggles 3. Now I stopped my flight because my battery for this goggles 3 is only 10%. So that is one of the problems. Unlike with the goggles 2, you could just swap your batteries if you have a couple of them, probably 2 or 3. You could just swap it out. This one you could not. But as I have seen it with other people, you could actually use a USB Type-C directly to a power bank, so you could fly still if the battery is really depleted. Okay, so that's it for the DJI Avata 2. And hopefully you do enjoy this video, and as always, see you on the next one. Happy flying. Let's just make a thumbnail. Okay. Hope to see you in the next one. Happy flying. See you around.